how my life has been living with nerve damage. Now, I do have nerve damage in both of my hands. I never figured out what the nerve damage is in my right hand, but I do know that it's nerve damage. So, I had to get my dialysis graft removed from my left arm after I had my last transplant, because it had my whole entire arm swollen, and it also had a big clot in it. So they took it out, and I had a hematoma that pressed on my median nerve for too long. So I got median nerve damage in this hand. And when I was going through that, when I tell you, it was numb. All of this was numb, and I had no sensation, and I didn't really have any strength in this hand either. When I tell you, that was some of the worst pain I've ever had. I went through physical therapy to help it. My hand did get back to about 70%, so that's my new 100%. So this hand doesn't bother me as much anymore. It does when it's cold. It'll still go numb and everything. I'll still feel like some of the pain in here. Sometimes if I push on it too hard, I'll feel the pain in these three fingers. I also had to learn how to tie my shoes again. I had to learn how to redress myself a certain way. When I was going through the pain in this hand, it was bad. I couldn't even open a bag of chips. Like, y'all have to see the time where I had to ask my sister to tie my shoe. She still laughs at me to this day about that. I was going through it, okay? So, but this hand, it's a lot worse than this one was, all of that. Because after 6 months, this hand started to feel better. I got my sensation back. I got the strength back. Like I said, the 75% is not my new 100%, but still, it came back. So, but with this hand, this happened from when they put the graft in my arm. After the first surgery, I had complications from that surgery, so they had to go back in there and fix it because they had my arm super, super swollen. So with this hand, it did go numb as well, like this hand did as well. I didn't lose sensation. I didn't lose strength. So that's the only difference between the hands. But with this hand, I can barely do things. Like when I'm washing myself, I can wash myself like my arms and my body with this hand, but that's it. After that, it'll start hurting really, really bad. Then I have to switch hands. And this has been happening with this hand since April of last year. So when I'm writing, I can only write for so long. I can only do dishes for so long. I can only like mix stuff. Like when I'm cooking, I have to take breaks. Just like when I'm doing my hair, I have to take so many breaks. And it's mostly just because of this hand. Like this is the hand that really starts to hurt. Before this happened, I used to do my hair for a good amount of time before this hand would start to hurt. But now this hand is like after maybe 2 or 3 braids, I have to keep taking breaks every time I'm braiding, every time I'm twisting, every time I'm like doing anything. This hand has been, it's been a problem. But I've learned to live with it now. I learned to, I guess, be mindful of the fact that it's gonna hurt after a while. But I do exercises to see if that helps. It hasn't really helped any, so I'm not really sure exactly what I can do to help this hand, unfortunately. But I am working on it. I can say that much. I still do my hair. I still do exercises I did with this hand to see if that helps. But it hasn't. So, but like I said, I've learned to live with it. So that's all that I can do. And that is how my life is with nerve damage.